Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. Pastor Dowell here. Listen, I'm not the commander-in-chief, and I know how easy it is to criticize leadership when you're not in that position. It seems like, everybody have that armchair quarterback issue. When you're sitting up in the stands and you're watching the football game go on, you got all the answers to everything, what everybody should have did, but you've never been on that field in real time at that play, and it doesn't make you a subject matter expert, even though a lot of people may think that they are. So I don't have the information available to me that Donald Trump has or the rest of his cabinet. I can only tell you what I perceive based on my previous military experience, and I draw from the military experience from other brothers of the silk or the cloth, other people that's been in the military. And usually their assessment is spot on, especially the upper tier levels. Tier 1, tier 2 guys, they pretty much get it. They got it right on, spot on. And I can tell you one thing, though. I don't like how we use our military to go and really, we call it a war against so-called quote-unquote terrorism, but we're after the poppy plants, we're after uranium. The truth is we probably would leave the guys out there to die if it wasn't for the mineral deposits and stuff. And I realized that the civilian sector has a total different mindset about the military. I noticed that they do a lot of flattering with words and stuff like this, and I tell you, man, I think the military is being misused. And I can tell you one thing, what's really throw up a lot of red flags is all of these generals getting fired. Now, some of them are literally off the chain. They really off the chain, but the other ones, man, they've been there, done it. They get it. They comprehend it. They understand it. And I think that's where the confusion lies at nowadays, because they don't have an outlook like a soldier would. Now, they say, should the civilian determine what the military does? That's just the way it's been in America for the longest. But America's starting to look like a terrorist state. That's, we point the finger and call everybody else terrorists, but we're starting to look like a terrorist state. And the American people don't appreciate a lot of the crap that's going on here in America. But what's really bad about it is these long-term politicians, that's been in there 15, 20, and 30 years, they're the issue. They're the trouble and the problem. And I do agree with term limits on the people in the House and the Senate. You get out and wash out all this old crap and this old mess, and then bring in some new, fresh meat to be able to see it and a little bit more intelligent. Because I can tell you, man, the way things are going, and then, this is the shocking thing right here. Tucker Carlson the other day, he bought out, and there's a video out there, when President Trump was sworn in the second time as the president, he didn't put his hand on the Bible. He did not put his hand on the Bible at that when he swore in. And you think about that for a second. Think about it for a second. He didn't put his hand on the book, right? And he didn't swear in. And very few people caught it. And on top of that, it ain't even in the mainstream news media much at all. What is the uproar? I mean, what is really going on? And what is the significance? And what was really being communicated at that inaction right there? See, that's the stuff we need to find out about, and that's the stuff we need to know. But even, it seems like people like Biden, look, you see how rogue he went? And we know that Biden was not running the country. We know that he wasn't running the country. Nevertheless, what does Congress do about it? What does Congress do about anything nowadays? See, what it is that the good old boy club, all of them have been caught with their hand in a cookie jar. And every single one of them are wicked. Every single one of them. And they're not about to start throwing each other under the bus, because that's what it'll be. Pretty much what I think, well over half of them, not 3/4 of them, from the president all the way down, will probably all end up in jail. This disproportionate justice that we have in America, to where the poor and the middle class, they get 100% of the book thrown at them. If you got 1129, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna flatten that thing out too. And I tell you. And then when Clinton, Obama, Trump, and everybody else does something, nothing said. It's amazing how the Epstein files have just gone away. It's amazing how they just went away out of nowhere all of a sudden. Nobody's talking about it no more. Everything's the war, 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 the war, war, war. What they doing, what they ain't doing. War, 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 war. What they doing, what they. It's all theater. It's all pomp. Every bit of it is. Now, I don't agree. Even though Israel's an ally, I don't agree with what we're doing over there right now. I don't. I flat out don't, but that's my personal opinion. I also agree that we should have been done got out of NATO. We should have got out of NATO 25, 30 years ago because NATO ain't no good. They ain't doing, and of course now they really show their hand, and so we need to pull our military bases, start recuperating some of this money. You want to cut the defense budget? You can start there by bringing the soldiers back home and leaving them military bases that we're occupying over there in Usura. Put every single one of them empty. Make them empty, and then just leave it at that. That's what you do. Just leave it at that, and then let the Europeans and everybody else fend for themselves. And let's see how well they do on the world stage. That's what we ought to be doing. But it's sad what we have going on. And like I said, you look at these gas prices, $5.79 for diesel over here on this side of America. I can only imagine what it is over in California. If we're $5.79, I guarantee you they're probably sitting at $7 something, almost $8 a gallon. Can you imagine that? I told you what you do. Set your ducks in order, get things in order, limit your going, limit your running, because hey, we're gonna be limiting cutting grass. We're gonna be limiting a whole bunch of stuff at Straitway, because I'm not about to sit up and pay all this money when we got two legs and we can walk, and we can carry stuff. Now I understand what we do is we got loads and stuff. We load up the trailer and put it all up the hill, and then we work. But all this and like y'all, all this ripping and running, just going to the store to buy some cheese. We ain't got a loaf of bread. Go to the store, buy a loaf of bread, and you take off and putting all this money out here like this is nonsensical. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever at all. It's a waste of time, and you got to stop wasting. All of us, we got to stop. We got to start cutting costs and don't play the game. It's about living a life of discipline, and more than anything, it's about living a life of being content. More than anything, about being content, because stuff is just way, way too expensive. Once gas prices go up, everything goes up. But anyway, I started this video, and I digress like I normally do about a few things that's on my mind. But I tell you, I don't like what I see with the Republicans and the Trump administration. I don't like what I see with Trump. I don't. And I think the sentiment is all the way across the board like it looks like we all been had and we've been betrayed. And I can tell you, all these people that have been lifetime politicians or something like that, I think that America should get together, and every single person that has been in Congress over 4 years, I think we all vote them all out. I don't care who's running, just get the next candidate in and let's try it. That way we can really, truly drain the swamp. Now, I'm under no illusion whatsoever at all. I think the voting system is a racket. I think they put the good old boy clubs in there. They in the good old boy club, and I think they put their members up. And it's just a wicked system. That's just what we're dealing with. It's a wicked system. It's an unjust system. And it's kind of hard to even be proud to be an American when America allows this type of crap to go on. Just saying.